Alrighty. This is about the fourth time I've tried recording. Oh my god. Okay, so I just want to talk about a couple of builds. First of all is Dom Chevelle, which I had that nice little slideshow about. And what's actually kind of funny is I posted pictures of this on a couple of sites. Someone asked me to show engine detail, which is kind of funny because they don't know. I love the Revell Chevelle Snap Tight. I hope that now that that Revell is back. Sorry, it sounds similar. Um, that they'll re-release the Snap Tight Chevelle. I really want them to. Maybe have it molded in red and give stock wheel options or custom wheel. Whoa, whoa, that's falling. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, like I was saying, maybe give stock wheel options and like more modern wheel options. I talked about this thing on my Instagram story, and I had this build for a while. What happened was I had it painted, and everything was pretty much assembled, ready to go. I had only one seat in there. I didn't have a roll cage yet. That came at like the very last minute of this thing, as well as another detail that I'll show a little bit later. But it was painted in this primer color for a long time, like way before this whole pandemic thing happened, and it just sat in its box because I had these cool wheels for it, but the wheels didn't fit and they didn't look right. They were way too small and they weren't as performancy looking as I thought they were. I thought they were different types of wheels. They're more almost low rider looking now that I get a good look at them. And I needed new wheels for this thing, so it sat for a while. And the original wheels from the kit are gone. I don't have those anymore. They're on a different model now. So then I was double screwed because I didn't know what to do then. But then I saw that I had a Mustang diecast, and the wheels on those are actually really nice, and they look like kind of American racing, kind of like wheels. Um, and I stuck them on this, and you know what? I mean, they're Mustang wheels, but they work. Like, they look good. And I actually really like them. They're not chrome. They're kind of just like an aluminum kind of color. They look cool. I actually really like them. The license plate was taken off of the Revell Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. Um, we have a nitrous bottle in the passenger seat, as well as a roll cage. That's roll cages out of a Charger, and that nitrous bottle is taken out of a Jada Toyota Supra. So, sorry, Supra. I ripped out one of your bottles. There's supposed to be two in the back of the orange Supra. Now there's just one. The other one's in this. There's the chassis, which I was going to paint the engine a different color, but I just decided to leave it all one color and just kind of scratch it up. Because I don't know what the hell the car is supposed to have in the movie. Maybe a 454 that's modified or something, but I didn't want to start painting that and detailing it if it wasn't correct, which would be like an orangey color. And I don't really have orange paint that I could brush. I only have it in can right now, so couldn't do that. So it just kind of stayed black. I might go back and do it again, or fix it, but I don't know. This one kind of has to sit a little bit, but I'm happy with it. It looks cool. I love this kit. Always a pleasure to build. One of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorite model kits of all time, because it's just so much fun to do. And alright, let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have one of my all-time favorite cars, the 1987 Buick Grand National. Now, my absolute favorite version of this is the GNX, but I'll take a regular Grand National. I mean, there's hardly anything regular about it. This car, even like just the Grand National, is nuts. I love this thing. One of my favorite cars of all time, and I adore it. I got this car off eBay, and someone that I know was building it and kind of gave up on it. Just kind of threw a bunch of parts into a bag and we're just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna build this thing anymore. And I got it, and I was thinking it was way rougher than it was, and I was gonna do some kind of crazy engine swap to it, but I'm like, you know what? Like it came and I started putting it back together, and I'm like, it's way too nice for me to do that. So I couldn't bring myself to rip it apart. So I just had to make it back to stock. So yeah, I just got this finished up today. Actually, there wasn't really that much for me to do. It was already painted when I got it. It missed the side windows were I had them, but they weren't put in. The turn signals weren't put in. None of the glass or the headlight glasses or anything were ever put in. And I had to do some engine detail because what they did was they put in this piece right here, which was kind of a pain, but I was able to do it. They put this piece in here, and they didn't put this piece, which is supposed to go underneath it. And I kind of had to find a way to take this and put it under it without breaking this piece. And I mean, I did it, but it was a little bit of a pain, not that bad. The mirror was broken off, I fixed that. And I mean, it's not perfect, but like, I love it. Actually touched up the Grand National decals. I have them, but they're nasty. They're like yellowed, and I did put the Grand National decals on the side because they still looked pretty good. And they had like a border of yellow around them, and it looked kind of nasty. So I painted over them with a black paint marker. And when I cleared it, when I did the floor polish all over it, it just blended right in. So that worked. These weren't in. I had to put those in. I mean, overall, it's just such a nice little build, and it was such a fun thing to just rebuild it. Like, I don't know what the story was behind this thing, that it was so close to being finished, and it was just like left for, you know, never to be completed again and just being sold. And the person even said that it could be like a parts model, which I'm like, no, because it's all there. Like, why would you ever part it out? I don't know. It's nice, and I'm really happy that I fixed it up. Also, what I love about this car is most cars nowadays, when they have some sort of performance package or whatever, they try to make their intake super aggressive and really awesome looking. The biggest examples I could think of are the Shelby Super Snake with the giant hood scoop, and then the Dodge Challenger Demon with the giant air grabber. Where's the intake on this car? Right there. That's how subtle this thing was. And what I loved about this car is that it wasn't very, like, you could mistake this for a regular Regal because there's no real visual differences besides a little spoiler, and the fenders I think are a little bit different. You couldn't tell that this was anything different from a standard boring Regal. That is what I love about this car. This thing was a factory sleeper, and I love it. The GNX is the craziest one. That thing, they tested it, and it was faster than the Lamborghini Countach. Imagine if nowadays Buick came out with a Regal in 2020 that was beating the Centenaro, the Aventador, the Veneno. It was just blowing all those away. It was that nuts. Imagine if that happened nowadays. That obviously wouldn't, but like, could you imagine? Oh my god, that's what this was like, essentially. And already, time to move on to the next build that I finished up. The next model I built is one of the most controversial cars next to the Corvette C8, and that would be the new 2020 Toyota Supra. The new Supra has been the most controversial car ever. The Supra is known as this Japanese badass sports car, but this car is manufactured in Austria. Now, if you're not a fan of tuner cars or anything Toyota, and you're just primarily a muscle car person, which I know a lot of people who watch me probably are more muscle car oriented, but you might find this interesting. If you don't, it's fine. You don't have to finish the video, I guess. Because I'm just going to talk about this for the most part of the rest of the video. Because this car is a collaborative effort between BMW and Toyota, and it's been very controversial. And for me, I understand both points of views. There's people who want a true Japanese tuner car with the 2JZ, because the 2JZ in the OG Supra back in 1994, I think, through 98, that thing was insane. It had a cast iron block. It was way overly engineered than it really needed to be. It was nuts. I respect the OG Supra, but at the same time, Toyota had a lot of pressure on them to deliver a new Supra. Everyone wanted a new Supra, and well, Toyota brought it back in 2020, and it's based on the BMW Z4 because they teamed up to build the new Supra. But for me, I don't understand why people are demonizing this car for saying, oh, it's just a BMW. Why is that a bad thing? BMW has brought us the M3, the M4, the M5, they built the engine in the McLaren F1. I could understand if Toyota teamed up with like Kia and made the thing like this underpowered little piece of shit. Then I would understand the hate. But it's not like BMW doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm not a huge BMW fan. I'm not a huge fan of their cars. The only one that I really like is the M3 E46. That's the only one that I really like from them. But I will defend them. I will say it's not like they don't know what they're doing. Like, that's my little rant on people hating on this thing. But I had to build one, and here it is. This is the Tamiya kit. I'm genuinely curious if anyone even cares who watches me about this car. But if you do, let me know in the comments, because I know there's a lot of people who love muscle cars and stuff like that who watch me, which is fine. Everyone has their preferences, and I've just been trying to learn more about different cars, and it's pretty interesting to get out of your comfort zone of giant rear-wheel drive V8 monsters. So this was the Tamiya kit, and when I got it out of the box, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is the white plastic it was molded in. It's molded in this nice, shiny, glossy white. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of Tamiya models. I like them. They're great. But a lot of the times I find them to be overly complicated, and I don't find them as fun to build as like a Revell model or something like that. Mostly that's, because I grew up on a lot of, Revell models and AMT and stuff like that. You can have a lot more, I feel, customization. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain what I mean, but I'm more familiar with them, so I have more fun with those types of models. But this kit, oh my god, I loved this kit. I had a blast with this model. It was so much fun. It looked so complex in the box, but this thing just snowballed. The front end and rear end went together so quick, and it's just like, okay, like the thing's ready to have the tires on in like minutes before I even started painting it. So, like in a day, I already had the suspension painted and everything, and I was already moving on to doing like the brakes and shit like that. Like, this thing went together so quickly, it was nuts. Here comes the problems though. Well, first of all, I want to say that I would definitely do another one of these down the line. I never say that about Tamiya models. Usually I build one and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to do this ever again. But with this one, I'm down for another one. Like, if I could get aftermarket parts, oh my god, could you imagine, like, a wide-bodied, oh my god, roll cage and, like, spoilers? That would be awesome. I would love that. My own personal touch is what I did to this thing. They want you to do this two-tone kind of thing where it's, like, chrome and black. I just blacked them out, and I think that looks way better. Just blacked out wheels. Here's where the bad stuff comes in. I cleared over it, and first of all, the panel gap stuff, you could see it all over the body, was acting weirdly to the... And here's the worst side of it. It was acting weirdly to the clear. I don't know why. It was fully dried, so I don't know why it was doing that. And number two, I thought I cleaned off the body as best as I could, but I don't know what happened, but you could see that there's dirt spots here when I cleared over it. If it wants to focus. Come on, you want to focus. Focus on my hand, do something. Come on, camera. There we go. It's dirty here, and here, and up here. There's these little spots, and it pisses me off because this thing was looking beautiful. It hurt my soul when I cleared over it, and then I looked back, and I'm like, what the hell got all over this thing? Oh, it hurt. But yeah, here's what also I love about this thing. The 1990s Supra badge that they're still using, that old cheesy font. I love that. That's so silly, but I love it. It's so cool. I guess I'll show the underside. But yeah, I would definitely build another one of these again. Just such a fun kit. Goes together so well. I love the way that the headlights look. They actually have you, for some reason, install the middle piece, but they have the two other pieces of the headlights. You can see that there's three. Yeah, you installed the middle one. I don't know why they have you do that, but it is what it is. You can see I did the red and black two-tone in there. That's how the car is. I did it with the red mirrors because I've seen ones with red mirrors and they look really cool. The only one that I've seen in person is a black one, which is really cool. I've actually seen a Mark IV Supra in person, and it's a black turbo car, and I believe it's a turbo car because I think you could hear it when it starts up. But the guy who owns it, I talked to him, and he has no idea what he has. Like, it's all original. It's not modified or anything. He's just like, yeah, I like it because it's a small two-door Toyota. The dude has no idea what the hell he has. Like, he has no idea he's driving around a Legend. I love it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even going to tell him that this is a desirable car. Whatever, man. That was a while back, though. I wonder how that car is still... I haven't seen him in a minute. I'm sorry, I needed to go get water. But here we go with the Supra. Back at it. Another thing that confused me about the kit was the windshield wipers, because they show it... There's two sets of them. They also give you two center consoles and two dashboards, so you could do left-hand or right-hand drive. But they also have it where the windshield wipers are facing this way, and then they have it where the windshield wipers are facing the other way, and it's like, okay, which one? Like, which one are you supposed to use? Because I don't think they really specify in the kit which ones you're supposed to use for which, like, version, if it's left-hand drive or right-hand drive, and they're both numbered differently, so, and they look a little bit different, so I'm not sure what the hell you're supposed to do there, so I just used whichever and threw them on there. But yeah, I wanted to see if I could build this thing and not paint it and just gloss coat over it and floor polish it, and you absolutely can. Nice bright white plastic, just beautiful looking kit. One of my favorites by Tamiya, just phenomenal. Even those little rubber things that they have you put into the brake discs, that's how you attach the wheels on every single Tamiya kit, weren't giving me a problem. They did on my GTR. Just, I loved this model. Absolutely loved it. I even loved the little Supra thing that's not even a decal. That's like a little chrome piece that it's like a sticker. Oh, so cool. But for some reason, they do make some weird choices. I will say that. Um, they don't have this molded in or this molded in, the front and rear bumper. That's not molded in, um, which is fine. You could attach those. But for some reason, this little insert here is not part of the mold. You have to put that in yourself. Don't know why, but that's an option. Like I mean, it's not an option. You have to put that in, but they make you put it in. I don't understand why they make you do that. And the trunk lid they make you put on. Don't know why either. It's not like that opens up and you have a full cargo area in there. No, it's you glue it down. I don't understand why that's a separate piece, but whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. So I am a little bit disappointed in this, but you know what? I finally have a 2020 Supra and I'm happy enough. I'm going to give this car to my character Lilith. She's going to use it in a story that I'm doing where it's right after Mike joins Master Jero and gets his powers, basically. And she's been with that kind of weird, god cult, whatever the hell he has, thing, his own dimension that he summons his people to. She's been with him for a while. There's a bunch of other worshippers too. Mike's the new person. She doesn't really want anything to do with him. He's trying to talk to her. She doesn't really know what to make of him, and she's like, okay, fine. Do you know how to street race or something? And they have a street race. It leads to that, and she's sitting there with this, just revving it up. My dude comes in with, she tells him to bring something turbocharged and fast, and he brings in the damn Grand National. His is a GNX, but like, that's not what she meant. Like, she's a big import character. She loves her import cars. She has a S2000, NSX, Supra, a bunch of other import cars. My dude just brings a goddamn Buick to that. I love it. Oh my god, they did those characters. That's the first time that they really like interact with each other, and it's pretty fun. And it's just some story stuff that no one gives a shit about that I just wanted to talk about. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm curious if you guys actually stuck around to hear my discussions about the Supra and everything. What are your thoughts on the Supra? One more thing I actually want to drop before this video ends, actually. In Doug D, I can't pronounce his last name. He did a video where he talked about how he went to this press thing where they showed off the new Supra, and Toyota went through the car and showed, oh, we could have opened up this vent, but we made it a dummy vent so you could pull it out if you need to and make it into a real vent very easily, so that tuners can make this, more better air coming out of here and make this a real vent. They showed all the parts where they could make the car better, and they didn't. They purposefully held back. In my opinion, I know that the new Supra is still controversial, but 2021 Supra has already been confirming my suspicions. My suspicion was the new Supra was like a test. All the things that they purposefully dumbed down was purposeful because they wanted to see if the car could sell. And it sold, and the 2021 Supra is already making more power. All the things that they showed where they could have done better, I think Toyota is going to release like a really high performance version of the Supra. Do you guys think that? I think that. I think they're going to come out with a crazy fast version of this thing, and what we're getting is just little tests, little hints of what's to come. And I don't know. I'm curious as to what you guys' thoughts are. Anyway, if you stuck around, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This is a 25-minute video. Holy crap.